Playful subversion rises up. Resistance can be fun. We'll show you how. There is a podcast announcement hidden in this post. If you're like me, the past year has been, well, a lot. Globally and locally in the United States, fascism and cruelty have erupted in ways that destroyed the illusion that modern racism, sexism, homophobia, and classism, and all the other isms, had gone underground forever. Instead, it sometimes seems that the tiki torches have come out of the darkness and are here to stay. The cumulative, and I would suggest intentional, effect of what we are experiencing in our communities and via the media is to make the individual feel overwhelmed, hopeless, and numb. The urge to tune out becomes greater the more powerless one feels. And tuning out, in fact, saps us of our strength. It is the opposite of staying woke. This was what Winnicott was talking about when he wrote in Playing and Reality that, quote, compliance carries with it a sense of futility for the individual and is associated with the idea that nothing matters and that life is not worth living. Having lived and worked through World War II and seen the impact of war and fascism on the children of Europe, Winnicott saw firsthand how compliance became a form of mental illness that slowly strangled the true self and its vitality. Traditional psychoanalysis alone was unable to fight this, especially in children, and psychoanalysts, in fact, continued to argue theory with each other as bombs were falling on England. This is not a metaphor. Winnicott famously tried to interrupt an intense theoretical debate during the Blitz to urge colleagues to seek shelter as actual bombs were falling. Taking refuge in theory alone actually turns out to be an attempt to maintain a delusional stance, to go on with business as usual, and thus remain compliant as fascism tightens its grip. My therapist colleagues, particularly my straight, cishet white ones, may relate to this struggle. The tension of sitting with patients who want their neurosis and its treatment to be business as usual. Or, if we work with patients who have never really had the privilege of ignoring oppression, we may be late, but have finally arrived at the party. Staying present for this, bearing witness to this, is exhausting, especially for those of us who have not built up stamina from living daily with overt hatred because of our race, class, gender, or sexual identity. And I think that not enough has been written about how cishet white privilege and the feeling of guilt surrounding it can immobilize the privileged, which actually further divides us and aids and abets fascism. But here's the thing about fascism. It's boring. Fascism is rigid, constricted, dry and solid, boring and narrow. That is why so many writers and researchers can write about its predictability and its inevitable arc. There is nothing playful about fascism, and that is its Achilles heel. This year, I hope you will join me for a weekly podcast I'm doing called Playful Subversions. Each week, I will interview a psychotherapist and/or person who does liberatory, resistance-oriented work about what quirky, playful, and/or subversive activity they do to help restore their spirit. Although we may discuss psychoanalysis, the goal is to have a cozy Humans of New York type talk that is more humorous and playful than dire, and aims to show that resisting fascism includes and requires a spirit of playful transgression of norms. We're off to a great start, too. This season, you can expect to hear our colleagues talking about forms of play and restorative activities that will surprise and delight you. We have a pioneer in trans studies who talks about motorcycles, a therapist who is also a trampolinist, a psychoanalyst farmer and food columnist, a psychotherapist fascinated by caring for baby birds, both real and digital, a psychotherapist who likes to move odd and heavy objects for fun, another who plays Stardew Valley, and still another who composes and sings what she enigmatically refers to as dog songs. If you or anyone you know would like to join me for an episode, please email me and let me know your particular form of playful subversion. I want to hear from you, talk with you, and share your quirkiness with the world. Our field doesn't need to be mired in the dire, and we need to start taking play as a form of resistance more seriously. The podcast will drop weekly Thursday mornings on Substack and is available to all subscribers regardless of payment. So please subscribe below to get it early. It will be available on Spotify and iTunes shortly thereafter.